Hello and welcome. Simon Page here, simonpage.com. In this video, we're going to be talking about the biggest roadblocks that actually get in the way of most entrepreneurs, especially those who are just starting out. Now, these are three different ways of looking at the world that I'm hoping to give you some ideas and tools on how to overcome, because these are the things that are going to really get in your way and stop you. And so I want to just go ahead and get started with the three biggest roadblocks that you're going to encounter as an entrepreneur. So let's get right into it. The first roadblock that you're going to encounter is imposter syndrome. Now, imposter syndrome is a nefarious little, I'm not going to use that kind of language in these videos, but this is the feeling of, why would anybody ever want to listen to me, right? That mindset that, hey, I'm no expert. Who's going to want to hear what I have to say? Why would anybody pay me for any information? And it stems from a sense of self-doubt. We have this tendency to be waiting to be given credentials, like for someone to come along and say, hey, you're good enough at XYZ, and so therefore we feel better about ourselves for doing XYZ, when it actually happens the other way around, right? The ones who get out there and take action, they're the ones who are being recognized as being good at. So you don't want to let imposter syndrome slow you down. Do not wait for permission to be you. Don't wait for permission to take what you have to offer the world and go out there and offer it. To give you an idea of how prevalent imposter syndrome is, especially in people who are already successful, I want to give you a really short list of people just in the show business industry, because they're common names. A lot of people might not recognize many of the names that are in the finance and business arenas, but a couple of these names you might actually recognize. Meryl Streep, Lady Gaga, Jodie Foster, Ryan Reynolds, Emma Watson, Hermione Granger has imposter syndrome. Go figure. I think I said Tom Hanks, Jennifer Lopez, Serena Williams. There are just hundreds and hundreds of examples of people who are in high-profile situations where they have given interviews where they say, I feel every day like someone's going to figure out that I'm a fraud and take it away from me. Even Maya Angelou, the humanist poet, before she died, she published her 11th book, and she said, I feel like this is, every time I've published a book, I felt like this is the one where they're going to figure out that I'm a fraud. So how do we overcome imposter syndrome? Well, first and foremost is to recognize that it's there, right? To recognize that it's negative self-talk and that it's not real. So the best way, there is no like magic, dart that you can just throw at it and it'll go away. But you have to realize that you have as much right, as much validity as anybody else who's in your field, doing entrepreneurship, working a job. It doesn't matter. Anywhere that you are, every single person that you're with puts pants on one leg at a time, right? You are as valid as anyone else. So that's an important reframe. Whenever you start feeling that self-doubt, I have a message to give, and I'm just as valid in giving it as anyone else. Another way that you can overcome it is whenever you feel imposter syndrome raising its ugly head, is to simply ask yourself, does this thought pattern serve me? And if the answer is no, say, okay, then I'm getting rid of it. Right? It's not something that you have to go through if you choose not to. The trick is to actually recognize when it's starting and to stop it as quickly as possible. So that's the imposter syndrome. The next big roadblock that someone's going to encounter, that you might encounter building your business, is the idea that you're too busy, or that you don't have any extra time that you can use to build a business. And to that, I want to ask a couple of questions. First of all, do you have an hour a day that you spend watching TV? Now, the answer might be no, because for a long time that's been the case with me. But if you do watch TV for more than an hour a day, then I submit to you that you have the ability to spend 5 hours a week building a business. And 5 hours a week is literally, I mean, it may be the minimum, but it is literally all that's necessary to build an online business. So if you are spending any time watching TV, sitting around, hanging out with your buds, going to the bar, that sort of thing, you can give that up for a small amount of time in order to take control of your life. Take control of your calendar, right? Is your calendar currently planned out and organized? Do you know where you're going to be spending your time 2 days from now, 3 days, 5 days, a week, a month? Do you know where your time will be spent? If it's truly your desire to build an online business, to create an extra stream of income, you owe it to yourself to be honest with yourself about where you're spending your excess time. Because almost everyone has excess time. Now, I know if you're working 2 jobs, you're a single mom raising 3 kids, you probably don't have a lot of extra time. And I get that. That doesn't mean it's impossible. It means, yes, there's going to be more challenges. If you're working 3 jobs just to make ends meet, which in this day and age is very possible, I get it. It's going to be difficult. It's a challenge. But I know people who have done it, and so I know that it can be done. The question is, what is freedom worth to you? What is the ability to have time, location, and financial freedom worth? Is it worth giving up a TV show? Is it worth going out on Saturday night and partying with your friends if instead you could be building something that's going to give you a long-term financial asset? Building a business doesn't take forever. Yes, it depends on how much time you put on it, but it doesn't take forever. And if you build a business diligently and consistently, once it's built, automating it, putting processes into place that take most of the work out of your hands is very possible. Now, pay attention. Mind you, I didn't say take all of the work. There really is no such thing as 100% passive income unless you happen to, have inherited some oil wells or something along those lines. But I know that's not most of us. But when you get it up and running, when you get the income coming in, you can put systems into place that take most of the work off your plate. So, what are you investing your time in? And is creating a simple $1,000 a month extra income worth an hour an evening or an hour a day for the next 3 months? You tell me. Okay, and then let's go on to the third big roadblock. And most people think, I don't have an idea. They think about the first few things that come to mind and they're like, I don't know what I would do. I have no idea what kind of a business I would start. And the problem there is you're not going to be given an idea. You have to go out and look for it. Now, a lot of people have already had that idea because if you Google online business ideas, you're going to get 1.7 billion hits as of the time of this recording. And it's true. People are going online looking for online business ideas all the time. And I'm not saying that you can't, right? You can go out there and get your juices flowing by seeing what other ideas people are coming up with. It's absolutely a valid plan. But when you start trying to find your idea, not an idea, your idea, there's some questions that you have to ask yourself. Because no one is going to do your business the way that you do your business. And it's really important that you know, that you understand that successful businesses don't come from good ideas. Successful businesses come from regular, normal, everyday ideas executed extremely well. That's how you get success. You come up with an idea that resonates with you, that you're passionate about, that you can spend your time focusing on, and then you execute that idea in service to your audience extremely well, right? Good business is about good service. It doesn't matter whether you're in a specifically quote service industry or not. Good business is about good service. You can tweet it. But So I said there's some questions that you have to ask yourself. First and foremost, what is it that you're passionate about? What could you spend the next 3 to 5 years of your life working on every single day? Okay? What are you currently paying people money for? Make a list. It doesn't have to be valid. I mean, it doesn't have to be like really grand ideas. Make a list of the things that you're currently paying for. You know, it's not about this is not about creating ideas for you. It's about getting your juices flowing about what other people are doing. So, what do you pay for? Do you pay for someone to clean your house, someone to cook your food? Do you pay for someone to come and pick up your trash? What do you pay in services every month? Next, make a list of your skills. What's are you good at? What are the skills that you're like, yeah, I'm pretty good at that. And more importantly, make a list of what your friends think you're good at. You know, you may say, well, I just like to talk about, people and, hang out and stuff. And then you ask your friends what you're good at, and they're going to say, I don't I don't go into a new relationship unless I've talked to you about it. Or, you're the best person I have to talk to about, problems with my computer or, anything. What do your friends think that you're good at? And lastly, what do you do with your free time? Uh, if you get up early on a Saturday morning and nobody else is awake, how do you spend your time? Do you read? You watch TV or YouTube? And if so, what are you watching? What are you reading? Pay attention to those things. If you find yourself always picking up a GQ magazine, maybe there's a passion there. If you're always picking up something about mountain biking or hiking or climbing or any kind of sport or any of the things that you're passionate about, make a list. And once you have that list of about 20 or 30 ideas of the stuff you're paying for, the stuff you're good at, the stuff you believe you're good at, and the stuff your friends believe that you're good at, and what you do with your free time, you're going to have the basis to start thinking about how would I use one or more of these ideas to build a business around. Does that make sense? I hope so. I hope this has been helpful. This is the three biggest mindset roadblocks. I think I'm going to change the name of that. Three biggest roadblocks to entrepreneurial success. Again, my name is Simon Page. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, I will see you on the next video. Thanks.